What's up guys? My name is Michael, and in this video, I'm going to teach you the basics of compression and how to use it on vocals using Izotope's Nectar 4 Pro. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is compression and how can we use it on a vocal performance in a mix? Compression is a technique that we use to automatically turn down the louder portions of an audio file so that it becomes less dynamic and more uniform. You can think of compression as if your volume fader were automatically turning down the louder portions of the audio without you having to automate anything. There's a common misconception that compression just turns everything up and makes it louder. And although this is partially true, compression actually turns down the louder portions of the audio so that we can uniformly adjust the gain to compensate for that compression so that the difference between the louder portions of the audio and the quieter ones are not as great. So let's take a look at an example of how to use compression on a vocal performance to bring out some of the subtleties in the mix using the compressor inside of Nectar 4 Pro. So here we are inside of our session, and I already have an instance of Nectar Pro loaded onto the lead vocal channel. As you can see right in the middle under the compressor tab, each compressor has 5 main components: the threshold, ratio, attack, release, and makeup. The threshold determines at what point does the compressor engage. The ratio is how much compression is added after the audio surpasses the threshold. The attack is how fast the compressor engages after it meets the threshold. The release determines how long the compressor stays engaged, and the makeup determines how much gain we add back in to compensate for the compression. So I'm going to listen to the lead vocal right now to get an idea of how to set the compression. So I'm going to adjust it down so it catches the louder portions of the vocal. So you can see this yellow line at the top indicates how much compression is being added. I'm going to also adjust the ratio to be about 3.5. I'm going to decrease the attack so the compression happens very quickly. I'm going to increase the release so that the compressor stays engaged. I'm going to turn off automatic makeup and then listen one more time to see how much makeup gain to be added back in. You can see on this meter at some points we were getting about -5 dB of reduction. So I'm going to add that back in on the makeup gain. And we'll take a listen one more time. Now I think that sounds pretty good. On the right side here, you can see the 2 different levels. On the left is our dry uncompressed signal, and the right is our compressed one. We can easily A and B these by clicking this bypass button here to check the differences between the compressed and the uncompressed versions. So this will be the compressed. I think you can see that adding this compression allowed us to recover some of the details in this vocal performance, and especially in that last vibrato that were getting buried in the mix. And lastly, when it comes to compression or mixing in general, always trust your ears to know what sounds best. That's it for this video. I hope you're able to utilize these compression techniques in your mixing to make your music sound as clear as possible. Thanks again for watching, and take care.